Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Kraken Games 2022 Spring Tournament Semifinals. Tonight we've got rubes000 against wildham 0. I am DM Stewart 1981 in broadcast booth. Alongside me here is Chadbert. How are we doing tonight, Chadbert?
I'm doing great and looking forward to an exciting match here.
As am I. So I'll talk a little about the flags. We will have 2 loose items. We'll have incentive items in Ice Cave, Ordeals, Marsh, Earth, and Sky Palace. The Earth Cave item will be on floor 4. It will be behind the rod. As well as our major NPCs and Fetch Quest NPCs. So, Chadbert, how'd these 2 runners get here?
Right, so number 3, or Rubes has the number 3 seed, and he made it here by beating Tetron in the first round, defeating me in the second round, and then defeating Dengwu in the third round. Wildham had to make it through Cyrenus, Burt Reynolds, and Fryteeth to get here.
Oof. Both of those are tough roads.
Very tough.
So, as you can see, both of our runners have chosen to do 4 thieves.
I'm super excited about this one. They did the same thing in the last match, which, by the way, Wildham is up in this series 1-0-1. So this is not game 3. This is actually game 2.5, or 2B, however you want to say it, because the last race they did last night ended in a 1-second tie.
So to mention the blessings on the thief, because none of the other ones matter, thieves get red mage armor and 15 agility, but minus 10 to hit, minus 10% hit.
Ooh, that's going to be a rough one on that malice. It's not the worst malice, but it's a bad one.
I mean, it could be a minus vitality or minus hit point malice,
or minus ribbon. Though I don't know if the thieves can get that one. But those are bad ones.
We do get a free bridge, but that is the only freebie. I'm interested in seeing I'm very interested in seeing where we get our first route divergence.
I think that's going to depend entirely on what kind of weapons we can find in Canaria. Because if there are no weapons there, we're going to have to see how they get money and weapons to be able to fight Garland.
Yes. So what kind of weapons will they be looking for? Because I do not know how to run thieves.
Right, so I consider myself a bit of a thief specialist, so right out the gate in the shops, they're going to be looking for any kind of plus sword that they can equip, which would be a saber, rapier, any of the daggers that are available there, like silver dagger, the large dagger, small dagger, anything that rolls +3 or +4. And we're off.
We are off. Level 1 black magic, we've got Quad X, Temper, and Rub. So there's 2 fairly useful ones. We got Copper +1, Copper Cheerio +1, and Chain +2.
And a Falchion +2 sword, which will be good enough for the early game.
We've got Silver +2. Can thieves equip that?
No, thieves cannot equip that, but ninjas can. Rubes is looking to take an early encounter to get some levels and probably some more money to get more swords.
And it's a long hero run off of that hard reset.
That could be good or it could be really bad. We'll also have to wait and see what the rest of the table is like.
And Wildham headed straight for Temple of Fiends. And is going to go over and check those boxes. It's 2,500 gold.
That'll help early game equipment.
And let's see what's in that other box. Flame sword and 275 gold.
So the flame sword rolled neutral, and thieves are not able to equip it until their promotion, so they will probably sell that.
Yeah, that's probably money.
All right, Wildham's now taking on Garland, and he's doing a little bit of damage, chip damage each turn. Let's see if he can make it through.
Oh, Garland doesn't look like he's doing anything at all to them, so...
And if Wildham is able to make it through.
Meanwhile, Rubes finishes looting those 3 chests. Let's see what we got. We got a canoe. That's a good find. And TNT.
Well, there's our route divergence possibilities right there.
I think for me with that, I'm going to hit Provoca. Although with all thieves, I may not. With all thieves, I may go to Dwarf instead.
Well, Provoca has an incentive NPC, so I would still go and hit that, and you can check Matoya on the way. Because, we were talking about earlier, other gear that they are looking for thieves. So they're looking for any kind of cloth, any kind of bracelets, pro rings, pro capes. And on the sword side, they're looking for pre-promotion swords that could be equipped. Rune sword, dragon sword, coral sword, or the Masamune.
And Wildham is headed over to do Provoca.
Looks like he's going to check the black magic.
Looks like he's going to check the sword shop.
Oh, scimitars are rolled minus. That's not good.
Now he's going to check black. Fire 2 and zap.
No, that one's not a good level.
Well, if you're going to get an instant kill, zap isn't bad, because time element, if I recall correctly, there's not a lot of things that have resistance to time element.
That's correct. Time element has one of the lower resistance.
We get a
number of enemies that have resistances.
We get a heal 2 shirt and a lock sword, which is that the defense sword?
I'm pretty sure that's the Bane sword because it has the sword icon. Okay. So that's a great find, though, even if they don't use it as a sword after promotion. But the ninja is able to equip that, I'm pretty sure. And we have a ship.
Okay, Provoca's the better play because of the ship.
But yes, going back to the zap, yes, very few things resist it, maybe even just chaos, but it is not a very accurate spell, so that's the downside with it.
And that's fair criticism. But the way that these first 2 levels of magic look, they don't look good.
Yeah, they don't look good in terms of sweeper spells, but they've got access to a lock sword and temper, which is going to be very useful. And Quad X is a very good handy spell to have. Well, it is an instant death spell that if an enemy that doesn't resist it has less than 300 hit points, it dies.
And Z-Man in chat points out that yes, there is level 1 temper, but it doesn't matter if it's level 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's still the same. It's still the same 4 charges.
Yep, these will gain charges in every one of the 4 levels or ninjas will gain them at every one of the 4 levels when they do gain a charge. I don't remember if it's odds or evens.
I think it's odds. So wood stick and a Haas, and the TNT becomes the cube.
Halfway to sky, sky, sky.
Are Northern Docks on? I never
Yes.
remember.
Northern
I never
Docks are
remember
on.
when Northern Docks are on.
Yep. But I think they're going to have to go to marsh or ice, or maybe if they're lucky, Crescent Lake will have the canal to get out.
So it's a third of the way to Sky, technically,
Yep, fair point.
because still required is a floater or a canal as well to get out of the inner sea.
All right, Wildham is decided to go to try marsh. Marsh was not the most kind to him yesterday, but here's hoping it's kinder tonight.
It's marsh. It's never kind.
They can run from everything, however, ambushing gull packs, that's not good. With poison touch.
And Rubes gives the people what they want and talks to and keeps alive Hooray Dwarf. That's an opal gauntlet.
He should have spared him from the misery of having to say hooray all the time.
That's an opal gauntlet, which I don't think ninjas can use. However, it is good money.
That is correct. Ninjas are not able to use the opal gauntlets or any of the opal equipment.
A sun sword, but it's -3.
It's garbage. Sun Sword has very little crit when it's neutral, and when it rolls down, it won't do anything. Ooh, slime pack.
Ooh, metal slime.
He's able to get away though for the Oxyale.
Oxyale. So so halfway to Sea Shrine, which doesn't have an incentive item, which doesn't have a guaranteed incentive item.
That's correct. It's one of the two most likely places to have one of the loose items, but this unrunnable werewolf pack is not good news.
No, it is certainly not.
Rubes was able to run away quickly from the slimes as well, but he's now also on this.
He's on that same
encounter.
unrunnable werewolf pack.
The good news is they seem to be just attacking. There's been no scripts or spells yet. Or skills or spells.
Well, and with not a whole lot of great weapons on these parties either. This unrunnable werewolf pack is not easy.
Yeah, this is gonna be sit back and have a drink kind of time.
And Wildham is through that werewolf pack.
And Rubes is right behind him, so they're neck and neck.
And that's
here.
a katana.
Oh,
that's a neutral katana.
That will do very nicely. They're going to be very happy to have that. Ideally, you'd want it to roll up, but I will take a neutral katana any day.
No, it didn't roll down.
That is correct. However, they were not going to be able to use that until they find the tail and the floater and can promote. So they will have to sit on that one for a long time.
No, and to be fair, as soon as I get a floater, I'm looking for that tail. I want to, with the party like this, I think I want to promote as soon as possible.
Yep, the sooner you promote, the sooner you get spell charges, and the sooner it'll be easier to take down fiends.
And so, yes, I believe Rubes did skip that katana chest.
And I think you got it. Yep, Chad's confirming he did get it. Oh, one of those wolves had squint.
Regular or gray?
I didn't see which of the two it was. Probably one of the ones that there was 5 of one and one of the others, so probably one of the
Gold. Gold Cheerio +1, but it is 50K.
That's good that it rolled up, but that's going to be a while before they can equip that.
Well, and to be fair, this is there's gonna be a good grind in this, and there's warp at level 4. And was that Ice 3 I saw in there?
Ice 3, Lock, and Warp are all very good spells. Ice 2 also rolled there, but you're going to take Ice 3. So those are actually very good spells, but they probably want it fast.
Well, yeah, why would I take Ice 2 when I have Ice 3 available at the same level? And Rube's headed straight to Crescent, and I think Wildham is headed there as well.
Yep, they're both going across the river system there. Do you think they're going to go do a cheeky volcano dive after this?
I will wait to make that call until I see what Circle of Sages gives us.
That's fair. Let's see what we got. Canal.
That's a canal.
So what I would do in this situation, given this party, is I would save in the river system below where you go up to Volcano. Go up to Volcano, check what you can there. If you find anything worth keeping, get out and save. Otherwise, just like what Rubes is doing, otherwise reset out back to this point.
Yes, right there. Yeah, exactly what Rubes is doing. That's exactly what Rubes is doing.
And yes, Z-Man, Rubes' internet is not the best for streaming, so it's unfortunate, but it's good enough that we can at least have a good race.
Oh, that's an undead party pack we don't want to see.
Nope. But it looks like Wildham is coming up as well. Is he getting up? Yep, he's coming to also make the volcano play.
And Rubes finds some EXPs.
With Mute Touch. Fun. Totally whatever.
Which is a completely useless kill.
Now, if they were running the best party, the Thief White Mage, then that would be problematic, but not with this one.
And Wildham is skipping all of the hairpins.
He might catch them on the way out, but these are some beefy peats.
Yeah. I usually end up getting peeds rolling beefy.
They tend to roll that way more often than not, but there's enough times they're good.
And one of the Hall of Giants, there's an adamant, there's a loose adamant.
Loose adamant in the guarded chest there. That's a good find. Oh, and a massa.
It's a -3, but it's still a massa.
It's a massa. They have access to lock. I could see one of them doing the dive down to carry.
An undead party pack we do want to see. I like Zombie D's.
Now, I wasn't watching Rubes' side. Did he go clear the armory portion or just the hairpins?
I think he just cleared the hairpins, but he's headed for the armory.
So he's going to find that adamant and the massa as well. Wildham says no to carry and is getting out.
I do not think that's a bad call.
No, it's not. They've got an adamant to go turn in. They have access to ordeals, to sea and waterfall and all of those places. So
yeah, I'm headed to turn in that. I'm headed to turn in that adamant. let's see. Maybe make a cheeky ordeals play.
With the Massa, it's actually a very good play because there's usually small packs of enemies that give very good experience for this level. We get a crown.
I'm going to make the Astos play.
You definitely do that now. You're right here.
I might have gotten in the ship and parked a little closer, but I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. I did not see what Astos has.
Yeah, it went by too quickly. Runners are too fast.
Saberbonk.
Oh, that gives them even more options now. That is a win condition with this party. If they don't have access to the magic spells to get temper.
And it's a Saberbonk +2.
Which is not equipable yet, but will be once they promote. Pretty sure on that.
And Wildham is sailing south and sailing around the Taurus.
This is an ordeals play.
And that is the cheeky ordeals play.
Yep, you have access to 8 chests plus the incentive chest here, and good experience on the way up. Though they do not have warp, so we're just going to see how this maze treats them.
Okay, we get bottom.
Right back to start. And this is a good...
This is also an undead pack that you don't mind seeing.
Yeah, one of the great things about the Thieves in this tournament are that they have that 80 agility to start with, so it's very close to...
Rubes is headed for ice.
Oh, that's big news. That's route divergence that we wanted to see. But with that 80 agility, the Thieves are able to tank a lot of hits by just having the enemies miss early on.
One of the hairpins gave an opal helm, which is money.
Yep, the Thieves and Ninjas are not able to equip opal gear.
And Wildham does not go in to check the spike tile. The spike tile in the 4 pillar section.
Ooh, and get sent all the way home. Yeah, this kind of party, you don't want to check that tile because it can wipe you very easily. So you're not concerned with any of the spike tiles unless you happen to find an eye, then it's great. But there's like 2 total tiles that they rarely want.
Ooh. Unrunnable man-cat with dark touch.
Yeah, you never want to run into man-cats. But the dark touch, at least, is nothing. All right, Rubes is in ice, checking the 6-pack room here. See what he finds.
Giant sword, neutral.
That is not equipable at this point, so with it being neutral, it's going to be money. It is the 4th pillar maze. Ouch! Oh, Vorpal found +4. It's actually not a bad sword today.
So the Vorpal's actually usable today?
The Vorpal is now a katana. It is graduated.
I am... Ribbon. We got a ribbon.
And a
pro
pro
ring
ring.
+2. I mean, the ribbon has a -1, but you're not wearing the ribbon for the stats.
That is correct. And so now 2 of the Thieves have very good protection one from all of the elements, and one from Death's element.
And that's a zombie pack. An ice sword +3.
That is also great fun. And the floater is in ice. So Rube's making the right play. Fred. Oh, wait. Wrong randomizer. Wildham. Wait, he's racing. In case if anybody wasn't aware, Wildham is one of the devs on the randomizer.
We get a lock hammer -1 and a rod. And an eye tile.
Oh boy. You take this. I would take this up to 15.
Yep.
Which admittedly isn't that long. Oh, but Wildham does not. He goes to 13 and is out.
And hey, yes, they are doing a 4 Thief Rud back.
It's a thing of beauty. I love it. Rubes is on the way to the Rubicon Desert to turn in that floater. See where he goes from there. Looks like Wildham, though, is making the on-rack continent play.
And headed to check the caravan for a vendor item. No luck with a vendor item there.
Quick check those, so that's always good.
That's a chime for 34,000.
Well, it's required.
And Wildham. Okay, this was the play I was expecting. Waterfall first.
Yeah, you do Waterfall because even though there's an incentive in Waterfall, because it's an NPC, the Waterfall chests can have an incentive item, a loose incentive item.
Yes.
Rubes,
on the other hand, is checking Sarda. That is a ruby.
Useless Sarda. Guarding himself.
Maybe not. It might not be useless.
That's true. That's true.
There could be an incentive item. There could be an incentive item in Titans.
We're about to find out.
Meanwhile, we have a proc gen procedurally generated waterfall cave. Flame armor +2, which is not a bad.
Yep,
is not a bad thing to find.
That would be great in-game armor for the ninjas. But
there was not an incentive item in there.
Consolation prize of in-game armor, though. I think Rubes also spared the Hooray Dwarf. Rubes. I'm disappointed.
I am
and he
not.
did it again, just to confirm.
I am a Hooray Dwarf fan, so...
I have switched from Hooray to spare the dwarf or otherwise kill the dwarf.
Okay, and... what was it Astos had? Saberbonk. So Wildham does have the chime.
Yeah, that is a big question. You have one loose left of whether you go ahead and dive C and defeat Kraken and then see where your other items are. I think given that he does not have the floater, he might do that left side and then bail. We'll see. He's very lost.
Pro Ring +2 in Provoca.
Rubes, you just put 2 pro rings on one thief. You need to move one of them. Maybe you'll see.
And Rubes headed back for Volcano.
With the Masa, the Saberbonk, and Lockhammer, I think he's got enough to go take down Carry very easily. So I like this play. You can check for the remaining loose here, and before moving on.
And Wildham is searching around Waterfall for... okay, to explain to Infrared Soup in chat, who's asking about Hooray Dwarf. The first dwarf you come across in Dwarf Cave says "Hooray!" And we have a flag called NPC Guillotine that is very, very useful. But there are some people like me who like Hooray Dwarf, and there are other people like my partner Chadbert who do not like Hooray Dwarf.
Yeah, and to give it even more explanation is early on when we did the NPC Guillotine feature, it always killed the Hooray Dwarf because the way it works is it will get rid of any NPC that only has one line of text, and we just found a fast helmet.
We just found a fast helmet and a Bane axe.
We are set. Yep, we've got flame armor, we've got ribbon, we've got fast, we've got temper, we've got saber, we've got a katana, and we have even a Vorpal +4. We're good.
And a hold shirt. And ice armor +3. Which I'm not sure if ice armor +3 is usable by the ninja or not.
It is, just like the flame armor. It is usable once they promote. All right, Wildham has made it out with the slab and Waterfall. Unfortunately for him, that was a very easy to find one if you went a certain direction, but we'll see if Rubes also spends as much time there as Wildham did.
And it looks like Wildham... Oh. No, Wildham... Oh... Nope, Wildham is not doing the cheeky C play.
I can get behind this because if you do C now with one loose, you're probably committing to abandoning some checks. Whereas if you do all of the incentive checks now, you will know whether you need that loose item or not. Unfortunately for him, the ruby is already out of the pool because it's on Sarda, so they will probably want it unless it's the ruse. But you kind of want that. That is a almost a required win condition with an all thief party.
Yeah, I was gonna say ruse stick is awfully useful. Wildham is making the cheeky sky play.
Meanwhile, Rubes is now taking on Carry. We've got a lock. We've got 8 hits going. We got a hold going, and Carry is paralyzed. And that Masa-wielding thief is now fasted. This won't be long.
At least we hope it won't be long.
No, he was doing 470 damage, so very easy fight.
There's Carry 1 down.
And the first crystal is on the board.
First orb is lit at 31, call it 3150.
That's correct, Jayla. Orb. Getting orbs and crystals mixed up. They do not have the crystal. Doesn't help that my
And-
tracker has the orb and the crystal look the same.
Yeah, mine too.
All right, Rubes is now on his way to Ordeals, and wildham is clearing out Mirage.
And let's see how Rubes does on the pillar maze.
He might do better, but he's still going to be still a 4-pillar maze, so nope. It's going to be about the same.
And wildham. Guards have cremate.
And fire too. They're just doing all of the burning.
Yeah. But I don't see any consummate V's on that guard. Guard needs consummate V's to burninate like that.
Just burninate the countryside. Yes.
Although I suppose that would have been more appropriate with the blue wings.
And Rubes is now running to his unrunnable pack of man-cats. However, he did find a lightning 2-stick out of Volcano, so that will be a helpful sweeper spell. Not the greatest, but it will certainly do a lot of the times.
If I recall correctly, it's better than Fire 2 and not quite as good as Ice 2.
Depends entirely on the enemies. I've actually kind of flipped on how I think of things. I tend to actually prefer ice, then fire,
Ooh,
then lightning.
Catman with nuke.
Oh! That's bad.
Catman and Mancat somehow always roll something bad.
Man-cats, not even once. Just don't. Yes, we have a brand safe nuclear cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be on the Medusa script, and it was first churn nuke, so we'll have to find out if something else has it. We have
And
herb.
Wildham finds the herb.
I think Wildham is still in search for his first ribbon, so he's probably going to clear out all of Sky 3 here.
Yeah, I don't blame him. And there's Mancats.
At least they're not catmen.
At least they're not nuke Catmen.
Rubes almost bypasses that lock hammer. Decides to pick it up. Oh, I saw he just had to drop a Dragon -2 sword. That's unfortunate because that's one of the ones that thieves can equip pre-promotion. But he gets his rod.
Yep. Invis 2 bonk.
That's huge. That means that if the roost stick is loose, that's no longer a win condition, a required win condition. Rube discovered the ITIL. Does he stay and grind for a bit? Yes, he does.
Yep. That's I think that's a good play.
Yeah, if you want to grind enough to get the levels to make it through the dungeons, but not so much that you can't get spell charges after promotion. But they still haven't found the tail yet. Tail could be the loose item, and that would be unfortunate.
What are the Warmech flags on this?
So this one should be just the vanilla. It's on the Bridge of Destiny. But go ahead and get your Mr. Destructoids in chat, or your Sakusees.
And there's a couple of nachos.
Nachos are a surprisingly good experience. I know it's one of Spellzap's favorite enemies to take with a thief party. If they don't roll way up. These are a little beefy. Oh, Rubes found another katana in Acardia Islands.
That's a good find.
He's got a sword
and there's
for everything.
Another fast helm.
Rubes, stop opening boxes unless you need that last loose. You are set. All right, Wildham is now taking on Tiamat, sabering up and invis-2ing. This is a good strategy. And 330 damage, and using heal 2 strats to keep party members alive. Tiamat's not doing much.
Which is pretty great, which we'd be pretty grateful for if we were running.
Ooh, hold's not good. But I think Wildham's got it. There we go. Wildham's taken down Tiamat and lights his first orb at 3955. They're each at 1 orb, but Rubes is now going to Earth. Wildham really needs to get over to Ice Cave and to get that floater. Wildham does not have any ribbons yet. The one ribbon we've found was in ice, right before the drop down. So we're about to see the herb turn in here from Sky, and it turns into
Crystal.
more fetch. Now, DM, would you go to the inner sea at this point to turn in the crystal, or would you go south and turn in with the canal dock there? Or not canal, but river dock.
Where it depends on where the ship is. If the ship is in the inner sea, I'm going to the inner sea dock to turn that in. The ship is parked at the south dock of Elfland. I probably do sail back into the inner sea.
Yeah, I think it's gonna depend on whether Wildham wants to go to ice or not, because he's gonna have to canal regardless. So if he goes to the inner sea, he can go from Provoca. But if he's not going to ice, he wants to go to sea, then he might go south. We're about to see. Meanwhile, Rubes is clearing out instead of location, that finds a second ribbon and drops that extra pro ring he bought. Rubes, you're killing me.
You're killing me, Smalls. Yep, Wildham sails into the inner sea to go turn in that crystal.
Yeah, I think this signals that he's probably doing ice next, which is good for him. He needs that floater. Yeah, Bird, I don't know which I would do because I'm not in the race. Oh, Ruse Stick, which is great, but I'm pretty sure Wildham's really wanting that floater right now. Go to ice. Go to ice.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the ruse stick is nice, but it's not a floater. There's a bottle on the south end of Earth 4.
Not Lich's closet. So, yep. Rubes, where are you going to go? Rubes is now going on to take Lich, and then we'll see where he goes from there. Probably bottle turn in. Oh, Wildham's now going to Earth. He's doing everything except ice. I understand. I am hashtag never ice as well.
I'm much more likely to be never marsh than never ice.
Whichever one burned people the worst for the first time is which one I hate the most.
Well, because you're usually at a lower level when you go into marsh, so things will hurt more.
Yep. So McFly is now down and taking a dirt nap on Rube's side. I do not anticipate him bringing McFly back up. So we have to go with off-brand Back to the Future characters, McFly, and McZai. All right, Rubes, where are you going now? Looks like bottle turn-in. So we're going to see what the next incentive item is.
And that bottle turn-in... Is Guy a shortcut on?
No, sadly it's not. So he has to go all the way around. But I think he still needs to find the shop item too, so... Because he's not been over to OnRack.
Which, as I was going to say, as we know, it's in OnRack.
Oh no, okay. Loot! Required loot. So at this point, they definitely need the key, and they want the tail. But I'm getting a distinct feeling that the tail is loose.
And Rube's headed for OnRack. There's that chime.
So, Jesus the Frog, they definitely want that tail. Rubes has 2 katanas and a Vorpal +4 that he would love to be able to equip, because otherwise he's swinging a single Masa -3 and just some Scimitar +2s. Rubes is now in that terrible, terrible procedurally generated waterfall. Let's see how long it takes him to find it. If I remember right, he was just down to the right and left. Wildham finally has his ribbon now. I bet he's breathing a huge sigh of relief.
I believe have we found the other loose item? Or is it just the adamant?
Just the adamant so far. And the only things we haven't located yet are the key and the tail. So the slab turn-in is going to be one of those, and then the other one is loose. I agree. The Masa -3 could certainly be done. And if one of the runners feels very behind, they're going to make that play.
And Wildham starts the fight with the speed bump.
Speed bump is down. Rubes is still getting lost over here in the waterfall, so I do not think Rubes is going to be gaining any time on over Wildham on this waterfall dive. Wait, where's Wildham going? Did he forget to check the room?
I think he might have.
Oh, that's going to feel bad. But he's going to be very glad he did. Eventually, once he can turn the bottle in for the loot. Wildham stepping on that spike tile was very brave after having beaten Lich. Meanwhile, Rubes has found the robot and has gotten his slab. So I imagine he's going to skip C for now and go turn that in to see if it is the tail or the key and adjust accordingly.
Yep. Or, I mean, we could hope Rubes goes and lupus himself, but I doubt it.
It would be more of a question of does he dive C now or no? After. Because if he decides he has the equipment now, I see him totally going, turning in that slab, and if it's the key, not opening a single chest from now on.
Well, he still needs the tail.
Highly, highly recommended. But I could see him thinking he's down 1.5 games and needs to do what he can to beat Wildham, who is also a fantastic runner. So I would not be surprised if one of these two decides to do that, to skip the tail if it is loose. And yesterday, Rubes played it a little extra safe, and today ended up in a tie, so I imagine he might be more inclined today to play less safe. We'll see.
That is a good piece of meta game analysis.
Yes, so spells that we have are level 1 Temper and Quad X, level 2 Zap, Fire 2, level 3 Brack, Lit 2 and Bane, and level 4 has Lock, Warp, and Ice 3, which are great spells in general, and since they have 2 fast items, they are good. Rubes finds the key, so we are going to have this panic moment of, do it? Oh no, Rubes has got it again. The Lefanian linebackers are happening again. No, it's so bad that I can hear Dark Moon. Okay, he's out. Those Lefanian linebackers. Oh, those are the worst.
Yeah, that.
So
and because
back.
they have two different dialogues, they don't disappear with the NPC guillotine.
That's correct. All right,
Rubes headed for Sky.
Yep, and since he is, well, he's maybe hoping that this is the tail, and he's going to make the decision after this. So we will find out. But the key was the item that was in Lefane. So the tail is loose.
Ooh.
No,
I
Dark
wonder.
Twinge. Bad. We will not do that. In fact, the NPC guillotine was actually created because of that issue in Earth Cave when
Those bats.
Jay Coper was trapped behind bats for several minutes in a race.
And that is also why if you go into the room on Earth 3 that has no chest, you will find 5 bats in there.
Yeah, the bat party room. So Wildham has finally an ice. He's going to be very happy to get his floater, but probably feel very, very behind. But he'll also get a ribbon if he checks the 3 chests in the room right before the drop down.
I don't know if I would consider Wildham to be that far behind.
Well, I'm not saying he is behind. I'm saying he's going to feel behind.
He'll feel behind.
They've gone on very, very divergent paths today, so it's very hard to tell if there is anybody ahead. They're both at 2 orbs.
And the nuke Catman.
Oh, yes. Yes, Catmans have nuke. First churn, first spell.
And
they come in big packs.
Wildham finds that ribbon and that pro ring.
He did not dodge those. He got hit hard by those new Catmen. Lost 2 party members, and, well, actually only 1. I think he was riding 3 at the time. But barely survived him.
And let's see if Wildham can get the rest of the way out of ice.
Yeah, I think with 2 ribbons he should be good. Yep, he makes it out, and he's going to get in the air as quickly as he can and be on his way. The good news is he already has the bottle and the slab, though it does not appear that he's actually translated the slab yet. But he's going to probably go up to Sarda, check that, and get his useless ruby, and turn in the slab, and then go to the bottle. So I think we're going to converge very quickly.
Yes.
On the last 2 dungeons at the same time.
Well, but the last 2 dungeons are different. Because Wildham still has to do Volcano. So it has to beat Carrie.
Yep, Volcano is very fast, and Rubes is halfway through the sky. Or is through Mirage and entering sky now. I don't think he picked up the Vorpal, but he has a katana and a masa, so I think he'll be fine.
Yes, I think Vorpal was in the 6-pack.
I think you're right. And so Wildham has translated his slab, has gotten his ruby, and will likely head to the ferry and get the loot and the key. So he's gonna be making his decision soon on whether he opens any more chests. Rubes is about to get his quest item, so he'll be a little delayed on that decision.
And Wildham going to turn in that bottle. Now, the last race between these 2 ended up in a tie.
That is correct.
Will it happen again?
Very unlikely. And I do not wish to commentators curse them on that, so I'm going to say no.
Wildham gets that loot.
And is heading down to Lefane to get his key. And then he's got to make a big decision to make. If he feels behind, I see him not promoting. All right, Rubes is now on the Bridge of Destiny. Are we going to get a war mech?
Come on, War Chicken. Come on, Robot Chicken.
So, Mr. Bus Driver, there was competing times for what it was, and it was whether it was 1 second or 2 seconds, and a third one came out to 1 second, so they decided that it was a tie. And now, Rubes is facing Tiamat. We have a lock, strats, we got fast, and Saberbonk. This Tiamat is probably not long for this world.
Certainly not if she doesn't start doing more damage than Fire 2 or Ice 2 or Lightning 2. Wildham headed for C.
Yeah, this Tiamat is still just very light touches on the players. And Rubes has defeated Tiamat as well and has lit his third orb. Meanwhile, Wildham is on the way to Kraken. Oh, wait. Realize that. Oh. I don't know if that was Wildham making the decision to skip the trying to find a loose tail, or decided to go Kraken side first and realized it was not flipped.
Not sure. I don't know what I would. I don't know what play I would make. I think I would. We'll see. We'll see in this room.
With this party, at this point, if I was up one game, if I was up 1-0-1, I would try to find the tail with any quick checks, and then promote, because I would get a whole bunch of firepower with that. If I'm down a game, I would not. I would do everything I can and risk it and go.
I can see that.
However, Wildham has decided he's not going to dig out that tail.
Yeah, Wildham clearly feels behind and is...
Yes, I agree. He feels way behind because of that very, very late floater. But in reality, he's about to tie up the orb count. He's not very far behind. But we'll see if Rubes decides to try to dig out the tail. Quad X stick is good. All right, Wildham is taking on Kraken now. We see Saber, we see Invis 2, and we see Lock. Or was that fast? I didn't catch it. Oh, Heal 2. Okay. All right, Rubes hedged his bets and has checked the easy ones, but is not going to be digging out that tail. He might make a quick dive into key locks, but I don't see him checking much beyond that.
Tiamat down for Wildham, hits a enemy pack on the way, but gets away from it, and that will, Wildham is going to blitz. Wildham is going to blitz Volcano. I will agree. I don't think we see either one try to promote.
Didn't expect to say that today, did you? With that
No,
party.
I really didn't.
But that's why these two are in the semifinals, and that's
why they're in the semifinals, and I'm in the booth.
Especially me, because Rubes beat me in the second round. Or third round. Oh, second round.
So if you are enjoying this, first off, you should give these runners a follow. Also like to give a big shout out to Dark Moon, who is our restreamer, and JLo7, who's our tracker. You should give them follows too, as well as my broadcast partner Chadbert. The Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord is a great welcoming community that has all kinds of events, to has all kinds of events to get new people into running the randomizer, like the currently ongoing Duckling Boot Camp, which is a series of weekly asynchronous seeds. So they're seeds that are pre-vetted, pre-generated for new people to run on a timer. And upcoming the Duckling Boot Camp, or the Duckling Derby, in... When exactly does that start? The end of this month?
I will look quickly, but in the meantime, we've got Rubes doing his last quest turn-ins and gearing up. Wildham gearing up at the same time. They are going to be entering Topher at the same time. Strap in, everyone. This is going to be a good one. The Duck Derby is still to be determined, but coming soon, according to the calendar. Oh my goodness. Wildham has taken the lead, and Rubes is going back, and I thought he already geared up.
Wildham into Topher at 104.14.
Rubes will be following up right behind with about 20 or 30 seconds afterwards.
Oh, Will Bloodworth in chat.
I agree, Will, and I also agree, Mr. Ibis, that Rubes was definitely hoping for the tail. And
Rubes is jumping into Topher about 30 seconds behind.
And taking fights along the way. He doesn't feel comfortable with his current levels or HP, which I don't blame him. This would feel low level, but they're going all out. If Wildham wins this, he punches his tickets into the finals. Rubes must win this to keep going and force a Game 3 or Game 4, however you want to say it.
Now, who is in the other semifinal?
The other semifinals are Chanigan versus Ganon's Gone Wild, which Game 1 was run this morning, and we will not this morning, but earlier today. We won't spoil who the winner of that race was, but it was a good one. So go make sure to watch that on the VOD on this very channel.
Ooh, Lich 2 with Swirl.
That definitely hurts, but it's good to get it out of the way now. But Speed Bump is going to speed bump and is out of the way.
I'm a little disappointed that neither one of our runners has the fun enemy names flag.
Yeah, I tend to not turn that one on myself, but it can be fun to watch every now and then. Rubes is exiting out and is probably going to save the levels and re-res his character, his meat shield. Meanwhile,
his Ablet of Thief shield.
Yep. Meanwhile, Wildham has made it to Carry 2 and is doing Saber, Invis 2, and I didn't catch the third one, Lock. That's probably going to be how he's going to open most of these for now.
I would not be shocked by that.
Does Wildham not have one of the fast items?
Maybe not.
I haven't seen him cast it. Oh, Carrie has nuclear. We are in danger now.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Poison takes out the main melee thief. This is very bad. Meanwhile, Rubes is still leveling in Topher. Or burning off encounters on that floor. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Good call, good plan. Oh, this is bad. Oh no, Wildham's down to one thief. I think this is a reset.
Yeah, and that thief does not have a good weapon.
No, Wildham only has scimitar -1 on that thief.
And that is not a tile to grind with.
Meanwhile, Rubes has run into an Agma. Where was that at? Agma was the spike tile here. You take this if you want levels. That is right, Karant. 2.5 is living up to the hype. They entered Topher within 1 minute of each other, even though they went completely divergent paths the entire race. One person had a floater extremely early, one person had it extremely late. They both feel behind. The tail is loose, and they didn't pick it up, even though they have Vorpal +4, 2 katanas, Ice +3 armor, Flame +3 armor. They are skipping all of that. Yeah, the form party grind on this is not good. So I don't know how far Rubes will take this.
And Wildham makes his way out of Topher.
That is right. One of the flags that is on for this tournament is the Topher exit flag. So you can walk back out without having to warp or exit.
Or Death Warp.
Or that too. That is an option. A common one. All too common.
Well, if you lose your White Mage... If you lose your White Mage with the exit spell, that's in vanilla, that's the only option.
Yep. Rubes has decided he's done enough Agama burgers and is now continuing the Topher climb. Or dive in this case.
Let's see how this goes.
Rubes is now on the Lich floor and running into some Meduses while Wildham is running into a lot of Chimeras. They're on the same floor and about to be in the same encounter. This is still a tight race. They're going back and forth.
This is crazy.
This is what a semifinal is.
Yeah. This is what a semifinal like this ought to be.
Simultaneous Lich 2 pulls. Rubes has the fast gear. I think that is going to give Rubes a big edge right now. Oh, that was quick.
I think that's going to give Rubes a small edge. Depending on how Kelly 2 goes.
That is fair. But I think Rubes picked up 2 fast items.
But it ain't going to do a whole lot of good if your Massa wielder gets bodied by Kelly.
That is correct. And we're about to find out. Rubes is healing up.
Kelly 2.
He's doing fasting the top one and the bottom one. And swinging. The last one is just casting hold just on the off chance. 235 damage is not great, but may make it through.
We are simultaneously in carry 2.
Oh, Zap. Zap is bad. Zap is a very bad spell. It does not take down any of Wildham's, but half of Rubes' party is down.
If you remember, we mentioned earlier, Zap is time elemental, and not a lot of things have resistance to time elemental.
However, Rubes is through the carry 2 fight. Wildham is still going, but has not lost really any HP.
Yeah, carry
Thanks,
2
Scimitar
is
minus
not,
1.
carry 2 is not messing around.
No, carry 2 can sometimes be a gatekeeper. It's not very often, but it does happen.
And both runners onto water floor at the same time.
In the same encounter, and Rubes has jiggled around all of his equipment. Oh, unrunnable CPAC. Oh, this is bad.
Well, it could be worse. It's Naga and water rather than, say, a seafood party platter.
Yep. The waters do have skills. I saw flash cast, so...
Oh, squint.
All right, now we're in very big danger. That is correct, Classic Gamer. Not very often in these flags. The scalings we have in this are fairly accessible. Waters have crack. we are really hoping to get through this without losing anybody.
Oh, just say no to crack. And speaking of the seafood party platter,
Rubes is taking it.
well, with the lit 2 stick. Oh, and glare.
All right, Wildham has made it to Kraken 2. Has pulled Kraken 2. Is doing heal strats plus Invis 2 and Saber.
Well, yeah, because Kraken 2 is going to do Kraken 2 things.
Ooh, yeah, and already has. I have not been able to see the levels that they have on their characters. They are moving too fast. Whoa, I did not see what happened to Wildham there.
He just noped out.
Did he lose his Masa wielder?
I think he did.
Oh.
I want to say it was a nuclear.
Nuclear. Oh, that's bad. All right, so Rubes is going to have to go. Well, he has to swing.
Eight for 315.
Rubes is through Kraken 2.
Rubes is through Kraken 2.
With one party member, he's got to give up the pro ring to get the fast helmet.
This is gonna be man mode tier 2.
Yep. Let's go.
Let's flippin' go.
He's rusing up. He's got his 2 stacks of ruse that are required with the 80 agility start. He's fasting and sabering. So far, Tiamat has been punchy. I think we have a punchy Tiamat. He's doing about 500 damage around. I think he's through Tiamat.
Classic Gamer in chat is right. This is where no promotion hurts. Because you only have one weapon wielder. And I think Saracen may be prophetic here. This bodes poorly for Chaos.
Yep, but Rubes is through Tia 2 and at level 28 on the one thief. So we're going to find out. Oh, moving Lock and Bane. All right. Everything. We're going to throw everything we have at Chaos. All right, we're going to ruse up. Start.
And Rubes pulls Chaos at, let's call it 11708. And Nuke.
Nuke is the second spell in the list. And he's got Lightning 3. This is not good.
And Fire 3.
This is a very spell-happy Chaos. And he only did 154 damage. We're going drink strats. Ooh. I think this is a 50 plus percent. I think this is a 50-50. 50% spell, 50% skill, chaos.
And 70 and that massa is not doing a whole lot of damage.
Oh, and in the second nuke, I don't think those spells looped. I think we have 2 nukes on chaos.
Ouch.
This is a rough Topher. Rubes is going back in, though. Probably just took a minute to try to not tilt.
Which, if you stop for 30 seconds to stop a tilt, that's worth the 30 seconds.
Yes, it is. Wildham has run into the unrunnable water Naga pack, which had very bad skills, but is already down to a 2-man.
Yeah, I don't know that promotion is even the answer here.
Yeah, the nuke is... Yeah. Levels. Levels is the answer.
I mean, if it were me... If it were me, well, that's almost not really relevant, because if it were me, I wouldn't be running 4 thieves.
I would jump at this opportunity. But I also ran Thief White Mage and then Double Fighter with Rubes as 2 super races, so...
If it's me, I'm probably running Black Belt Rainbow or Black Belt Thief White Black.
Wildham is through that terrible Naga water pack. And it's going to go on to the Seafood Party pack and then Kraken 2. Or Kraken 2. Oh, there it is. I think he was ambushed, which is bad. Oh, no, he wasn't. Okay. He's healing up. Let's see what happens. You want to call this one?
I'm not even going to make an attempt.
All right, so we've got Invis 2 strats, and I think that was a ruse.
2. Yeah, Invis 2 and ruse. Kraken tries Zap and it doesn't work.
Zap
or
is...
Invis 2.
Yeah, Zap is a free one because he has 2 ribbons. Oh, we're in big danger now. Heal 2 might be enough to keep him up. But he's got to swing. That's not good. If he had lock, that would be a good time to use it.
You've just got to do damage at this point.
Well, he's not getting all the hits in. That time he did. Slow 2, I think, missed. A tornado as well. Oh, this is bad. But he makes it through.
Wildham's through Kraken 2. Rubes is through Lich 2.
And Wildham did not lose another party member, so he's got, with the punchy Tiamat, if he gets the ruse, the Invis stacks up fast enough, I think he's got a chance. All right, we got Invis 2 Saber, but I'll let you take this one.
Invis 2 Saber. More Invis 2, more Saber. So you're saying there's a chance. And oof, that's not a lot of damage.
Yeah, Wildham doesn't know this yet, but Tiamat is very punchy, so he needs to get invis stacks up. Hasn't gone through yet, but I don't think he has all 4 that he needs. I could be wrong.
Come on, you just gotta hit him.
Got some drink strats, swing. I think we got 1 or 2 more rounds to get through Tiamat 2 here. Meanwhile, Rubes
And
is
that's
facing
Tiamat
carry
2 down.
Rubes has lost 1 thief, 1 party member so far,
And is in danger of losing a second.
but makes it through. Would you like to call Wildham's Chaos?
Sure. Here's Wildham. Wildham pulls Chaos at 123.45. And Invis 2 and Saber. So Invis and Saber strats. More Invis, more Saber. And Chaos starts with a nuke. Lit 3.
Yep, he's trying to use the heal 2 to keep the HP up enough. Hopefully he can start swinging before that second nuke.
A lit 2 there. Yeah, heal 2 is the attempt to survive that second nuke. Fire 3, will it work? Lock hammer.
Oh, you need to be swinging Wildham. There's a nuke right around the corner.
There's a fire 3. Bane doesn't do anything. That's a freebie. 5 for 667.
That's good damage. Can you get him down in time?
5 for 508. 4 for 521.
Both party members are above the 400 HP max roll nuke level. I think he's looking very good.
But he's going to keep using. And lit 2.
Terminated.
That's it.
Get your GGs in chat for Wildham.
Wildham has won this race and punched his ticket to the finals with an official race time GG time of 124.44. Wow, that was a tight chaos fight.
That was well done. That was a very good showcase of beating a very tough Topher with just these.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Rubes back into Topher again. And yes, Jesus the Frog, if Chaos had been that punchy for Rubes, he might have taken it.
And we are joined in chat by Wildham, the winner of today's race. How are you feeling, Wildham?
Wow, what a Topher.
That was a rough Topher. You didn't see that Chaos had 2 nukes.
Yeah, you didn't get around to the second nuke on Chaos.
All right, that must have been pretty far. I was about to heal up.
I
before
think
cast
it was the
spell tag.
next. I think it was the next spell up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it might have been that it looped around on Rubes, but I think I'm fairly certain there were 2 nukes. So GG Wildham. How do you feel about those new Catmen that were in Mirage?
It hit me once. It was a bit scary. But surprisingly, I managed to survive these. So, but yeah, that was a nice surprise.
So you got the floater super late. How were you?
Yeah.
What were you feeling when you got that floater real late?
Well, I did feel that the power was really behind because if Rubes didn't ghost ice early, then he'd been flying all around since almost the beginning. So did he do that?
You two had wildly divergent paths, and he did find the floater extremely early. He did go to ice after the same volcano armory play that you made. But you two entered Topher within 30 seconds of each other on the first attempt, and you were in first.
Oh wow.
So, when you realized that the tail was loose and you had all of this good equipment, what made your decision to not dig it out?
Well, I had the ribbon. I had the myself. I had this two bunk and the L2 short. So I felt I had a pretty good chance if Topher wasn't that bad. And the tail, anyway, there were no good spells, so the tail wouldn't do much defense. And I didn't find any good armor on the way, so it would be nice to be able to equip the katana, but I thought I could put it out with just the massa. And, yeah.
So an interesting thing is Rubes dug some different chests than you did and was able to find like an ice +3 armor, a Vorpal +4, and a couple other things here and there. I don't think he found a good shield, but it was. But he also, I have a feeling, felt behind. We'll see soon.
It made a huge difference to have more than just one melee that could do any damage. I think, yeah. But once you're committed to Topher, and the script were pretty bad, but but they didn't have at least first two dive and feel like any bad throw spell in sequence that were really bad. So I felt that I could redive and maybe I could get a bit more luck and get it through. And that worked after a few tries.
Yeah, let's talk about the spells a bit. So I know we had access to Temper, Quad X, Zap, Brack, and Lock, but you did find. Did you find any of the lock equipment?
Oh yeah, I had to. That thing. Limited the defense fighting chaos. So having access, yeah.
So I think another big piece of equipment that you didn't find, but ended up not mattering, was I don't think you found either of the two fast helmets.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Where was that?
One was in Volcano in the lower floors. I think it was one of the freebie chests or one of the easier to access ones.
Yeah.
I want to say the other one was in Cardia. Yes.
And those would have been really, those would have been really good. Those would have helped you out a lot, I think.
At least one, yeah. So you were wielding the Masa -3. How did you feel about the blessings on the ninja, on the thief? Only a thief this time. No ninja.
They were okay. I mean, that's a bit pointed for the -10%, but it was manageable. So yeah, so it wasn't too bad. Yeah.
DM, you have any questions for Wildham?
Nothing comes immediately to mind. At what point were you expecting to see that dot done from Rubes?
Every by the time I was clearing volcano, I was starting to dread it. As I said, if Topher wasn't too bad, having access to the float early would give you a good advance.
I'm looking in the race room right now. Hold on. So, to give an update on Rubes, he did make it through Topher, but accidentally closed OBS. So we lost the 10-minute buffer. Or no. Oh. Or not. I'll not say when he does it.
Yeah, this was a really weird. This was a really weird seed for me because I'm not a thief. I'm not a thief guy. I generally run black belts for my melee. So getting to watch two people that are good with thieves has been very educational for me.
Oh yeah, the Thief is a great class, especially with all the buff it got this year. So it's especially a good melee to learn about. So
Yeah, I love the buffs that the Thief has had in this tournament with the extra agility, just making it a very viable main melee carry. I think the Knight's still a little bit better, but with the other alternative benefits you get with that agility and the running capability and the lack of ambushes, it's good. It's good stuff. So Wildham, who do you want, without spoiling any past races or anything, who do you want to face in the finals?
neither.
Good answer.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't blame you on that.
Getting Gone Wild is just it's got a great mastery of the game. Yeah, he's very technical, and Chen again, he's very scary. If you watch, just watching his first race against Gone Wild was it was a very great performance. So both of them, yeah, I'm scared of both of them.
Yeah, it'll whatever happens, it'll be a great finals.
I'll try to entertain.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the finals, whether it's Chanigan or Ganon's Gone Wild. It's going to be a good one. Are you going to... Well, I don't know if you wanted to divulge any strategy, but do you want to push for any kind of fantastic parties like today's or anything like that?
Maybe I have my feel for thief parties, but we'll see if we can convince anyone to run something a bit more unusual.
And Rubes is into that unrunnable Naga water pack on water floor, on Kraken floor. It's see, that's the one that gets me is that unrunnable Naga water pack. At least it wasn't a seafood special, but although Waters had some pretty nasty skills.
Yeah, Squint, Glare, and Crack.
Squint, Glare, and Crack.
Well, there it is.
And again, with no white mage, you have no res.
Oh, he has the light 2 sticks. Where do you find that?
I don't remember where he found the lit 2 stick.
That one was in Waterfall in the first room of the Aga floor, if I remember right.
And Rubes is on to Kraken too.
We have a fast, we have a... I didn't see. We got Bruce. Oh, wait. Okay. Nuclears.
And Kraken 2 with Nuclear. Nuclear Squid.
Switching to lock. Hold. And then swing. Zap. Takes out McFly.
Poor McFly. And that'll do for Kraken 2. Let's see if we got this one.
So Classic Gamer, I'm going to suspect that the tail was probably mermaid sides, but we didn't check all the key locks, so don't know. We have another freeze on Rubes' side.
There's a Quad X stick.
Yeah, I think he picked that up in Acardi Island too.
And we've got a Tia 2. Tia 2 is super punchy, so... So Tia 2 at least was not bad.
Yeah, it looks like he switched the main melee up to the front and with the ruse stick so that he could tank everything from the punchy Tiamat in order to try to keep 2 party members through for chaos.
Which is I think important.
Come on, Rubes' internet. You can do it.
You can do it, Rubes' internet. If you have enjoyed this and want to get into running this randomizer, absolutely start join up with the Duckling Boot Camps. The Duckling Boot Camp seed is released there's an intro stream on Sunday nights, and the seed is released on Mondays.
All right, we got Lock. We already rused up. We're already switching to Saber. Things are happening we can't see. More Lock and a swing. Maybe.
Maybe.
He has hit Chaos for some unknown amount of damage. McFly is on his knees. McFuzzy is not looking very good either. He's sabering up, so apparently the damage was not enough. McFly is down, but he's doing some damage with McFuzzy.
Let's...
Oh, I think it's shaking. Nope. Nope, it's still hitting. Yeah, 9 hits in. And
is that... Is that enough?
I'm so sorry, guys. This is entirely on Rubes' internet right now.
No, we understand.
Yep. And it did it.
It is
terminated. GG Rubes.
GG Rubes. Rubes finishes with an official race time GG time of 1:42:45. This was a super deluxe race.
This was a fantastic race with two very, very skilled runners. And speaking of which, we are joined in the broadcast booth by Rubes, 000.
GG Rubes.
GG Wildham, great job.
GG.
That was a fantastic race, Rubes. You were just trading back and forth with each other.
Can I just say the worst part about this is the fact that he finished yesterday and I didn't.
Fair enough. That is a bit more difference than 1 second.
I know. I asked Wildham if we needed a retime, and he said we got into Topher at about the same time. Like, oh, well then I guess we need a retime.
Within about 30 seconds of each other.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you two took wildly divergent paths. You went and got the floater out of ice right after doing the volcano play. Wildham was right with you at the volcano, did the same exact volcano play, and then left and did everything else he could. And last location, the floater. But you two entered Topher within 30 seconds. It was fantastic.
Yeah, man. Shows you early floater doesn't guarantee success. But,
especially with that speedboat.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, before the pre-speedboat, then yeah, there's a huge time difference. But with the speedboat, that really evens it out.
Although I will still say my favorite thing that I saw out of the double anti-bingo was putt-putt boat race.
Oh yeah, Fizzle and Demon Frog with the blackout putt-putt boat race. That was pretty awesome.
So Rubes, how did you like those new Catmen in Mirage?
I mean, I only saw them once. It was a slight annoyance. Because I routed it out the second time.
They were also in Ordeals, I think.
No, those were the man cats.
Oh no, those were man cats.
Yep.
Yeah, Catmen could be the overworld around there, but they're not in Ordeals itself.
So Rubes, when you got the key out of Lefane, that was your last incentivized location. How did you feel? Did you feel behind at that point?
No, I wasn't really sure how I felt. I was just really hoping that whatever I'd find in Sky was going to be the tail, because I would have preferred. I kind of wanted that over the Roostic, because I got 2 katanas and a Vorpal, and I really wanted to use them.
Yeah, I was sitting there like, oh, I would so want the tail, but I agreed with your play.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to go hunting for it. I mean, Masa rolled down, but it was good enough.
It was still a Masa, and you had the Saber box, so it was one extra turn of Sabering to make up for that.
And you had fast helms.
Yeah, we did.
No, you did.
You did.
Oh, jeez, really?
Yep. Wildham did not find those. And he didn't find the Lit 2 stick, but did you have the Heal 2 stick?
Mm-hmm.
I had a heal 2 shirt, I think.
Okay. Heal 2 item, rather. Okay,
Yes,
I think that may have been...
Heal 2 shirt.
Okay.
Oof.
Do you have any questions, DM?
So, again, I am not a thief. I am not a thief runner as a rule. So this was very educational for me on how to run thieves. Was thief lockpicking on?
No, that's not on in this tournament.
Okay.
So I'll follow up that question with, what did you two decide to do? Why did you two decide to go ahead and rerun the 4th Thief?
So,
That's the rule.
I mean, Wildham asked me, and it just like, I mean, I basically slept on it, and this morning I was like, what? We tied with 4 Thieves, but that didn't settle anything, so we got to do it again.
Fair enough. It was a fantastic display of the Thieves, by the way. So, if you watch this back, it was a very good race.
Yes, it was. Even though the time may not seem like it, this race could easily have gone either way.
Yep, Rubes, you saw 2 nukes on Chaos.
I think, he circled around.
So you think he circled around? It felt to me like he was very spell and skill heavy.
Oh, he was very... He didn't use a lot of skills against me. I mean, I know I saw an ink, and I don't know if I saw anything behind that, but I think he had 1 nuke. It just rolled around, and I was really hoping I could not see it again. I think. That's what I think. I didn't count the skill of the spells.
Well, I will see if I can find out while DM asks a question or two.
So, did you consider looking for the tail? Did you consider going diving for the tail? This is either runner.
Briefly, I considered it.
I mean, with the Vorpal +4 making it actually viable, and the 2 katanas, and good armor that was promotion locked, to me that would seem certainly logical to go look for the tail.
Part of me wants to go do that right now. Just out of curiosity, see where it landed.
My guess is mermaids.
I might have guessed mermaids as well. So you are correct. It was 1 nuke as the second spell, but a 75% chance of casting a spell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And he had nuclear as a skill.
Nice.
Ooh.
It was gross.
Very gross.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I was trying to get an RNG loop on him. Actually, the first time down, I got an RNG loop on Tia, which was really strange. It was like 4 hits for like 142, and then she'd swing miss, and then I'd do it again, and she'd swing miss, or maybe it was whatever it was. That was kind of unusual.
I did not notice it was a crit loop that you were doing.
It wasn't a crit loop. There were no crits. It was just 4 uncrit.
Well, what we typically call a crit loop, it just was a chip damage loop with the enemy missing.
Yeah, it was. After like the second time or third time it hit, I'm like, wait a second. It was pretty funny.
So, Rubes, we already asked Wildham this, but what did you think about the blessings on the thief?
Well, I knew the minus hit was basically just going to mean 2.5 levels to make up for it. Bonus is the red mage armor, right? That was pretty nice. So I get to immediately drop chain armor on them. What was the other one? I don't even remember.
The agility.
Oh. Well, yeah, it definitely seemed like I felt it because I felt like I got a lot of extra misses.
I can say that we definitely felt it through the seat, yeah.
I don't really have anything else. Any other questions? Do you, Chadbert?
I think I'm questioned out.
Any
Shall we-
final thoughts on the seed? Or any final thoughts for tonight?
Wildham, why don't you go first?
Right. GG Rubes again. This series has been a ton of fun. It was great to have unconventional parties. And I'm very glad I got to race you there. So that was great.
All right, Rubes, you want to go with final thoughts?
Don't you know it's the end of the world, or the road, or world, or whatever the song is. I don't know. This was an amazing tournament. GG to Wildham to finally, end my improbable run. He's got a great chance to do the thing, and I'm pulling for him. But just all in all, thanks for everyone who's watched and who's contributed any way to this tournament. I had a great time. It would have been nice if I could have gotten to next week. Maybe I can convince the other runner who doesn't make it to the finals to run a third place game. We'll see. Regardless, this was awesome, and once again, GG Wildham. Go crush some fools next week.
Yes, GG's to the runners, both Wildham and Rubes. And unfortunately, Rubes, that you have to go home, but you did fantastic in this race, or in this entire tournament. So you can hang your hat up high and enjoy the rest of the tournament. And
Chadbert, any final thoughts from you?
oh yes, and Wildham, GG's to you too, and good luck in the finals. And I want to thank the rest of the crew, J-Lo on tracking, Dark Moon restreaming, and my co-commentator DM. Take it away, DM.
Well, thanks. Big shout out to RPG Limit Break for letting us stream this race on the RPG Limit Break channel. Again, join the Discord. The Duckling Derbies coming up. New runners are welcome. That's only for new runners, in fact. Keep an eye out for the remaining races of the other semifinal. And next week we'll have the finals. Wildham has punched his ticket on. For Dark Moon, for J-Lo, for Chadbert, and all of the crew here at Final Fantasy Randomizer, I have been DM Stewart 1981. Good night, everybody.